Hello, and these notes are going to be on equations that have infinite, one, or no solutions. So this first type is here, infinite solutions. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do our distributive property on the left-hand side, which gives us negative 2x, and negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. We got negative 2x on this side minus 6. So essentially we have the same thing here. So just to prove a point here, but you really don't have to do it at this point. To prove a point here, we're going to move the smallest coefficient and variable, which in this case, negative 2x and negative 2x are the same. So we're just going to do the opposite. So what happens here is they cancel and they cancel. So we would get negative 6 equals negative 6. And when you have this, this means that this is an infinite solution. So this example is infinite solution, and the reasoning is any value will make the equation true. So you could put any number in for x and you would get the exact same thing. So it would be a true statement with any value that you put in for x. And the way that you can really tell that is here, if you go back here and you look at this line, it was negative 2x minus 6 equals negative 2x minus 6. So it was the exact same thing on both sides. Therefore, whatever number you put in for x, whatever value you put in for x, it would always give you the same thing on one side or the other. Now, one solution. This is what we've typically worked on the majority of the year. So in this equation, we can see that there's no distribution or no like terms on either side. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the smallest coefficient and variable, which would be 3x. So we would end up with 7 equals 8x plus 15. Now we subtract 15, and we get negative 8 equals 8x. And when we do negative 8 equals 8x, and we undo that, we're going to divide by 8, and we'll get negative 1 equals x. So in this case, there's one solution, and that solution is negative 1. And the reasoning is only one answer will make the equation true. And in this case, that only value is negative 1. Now, the next example is no solution. So let's look at this, and we look at the left-hand side, and you'll notice that there's x plus 2x, which then gives me 3x. I keep the 1. And now we have 5 plus 3x. Now, in this case, I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. And now, both those 3x's cancel out, and we have 1 equals 5. Well, 1 never equals 5 in no world, so this is not a true statement at this point. So what that means is no values. So the reasoning here is no values make the equation true. Now, we're going to do two more here. And the first thing we're going to do here on this one is we're going to combine like terms. So when I look on the left-hand side, I'm going to get 3x, because x plus 2x is 3, and negative 9 plus 3 is negative 6. So then on this side, I have 3x plus 6, and I'm going to move one of the 3 x's, and I would get negative 6 equals 6. So this would be no solution, because the values aren't the same. Negative 6 is not the same as 6, therefore there's no solution for this. Number 2, again, I'm going to distribute, so I'm going to have negative 3, because negative times 3 is negative 3, and then when you multiply the negative and the negative for 6, you would get plus 6b equals 6b plus 5. And now we subtract 6b, and yet again, you're going to notice that we get negative 3 equals 5, and this means no solution. You have 3 more problems here to do, and you're going to be entering your answers into the Schoology quiz for 3, 4, and 5. So you would need to distribute or do whatever you need to do for these problems to solve. So please do these 3 problems and then enter your answers into the Schoology quiz, and please follow the rest of the directions that are in the lesson folder for today.